Hello, and welcome to our second Rags to Riches mini-series. The first one covered the Sorceress, and this one will cover the Necromancer. The Necromancer is not as popular, in my opinion, compared to classes like Sorceress, compared to classes like Druid, Barbarian, Amazon. So I haven't seen as many people play him, but I think he's an amazing class if you're playing solo, if you're playing with a group. Everybody loves having a Necromancer on their group because of those juicy curses, but also these amazing summons. And if you are playing solo and you're not sure if Necro is the way to go, then hopefully this will help you answer that question. In our first episode, we'll cover pretty much start of normal, end of hell, killing Baal by yourself. We'll keep it to doing only one respec. And we'll also show like a day one Ubers, day one declone type of scenario. After that, we'll cover some early mapping, builds that kind of work, builds that don't work, what kinds of gear you can be looking at. And on day 3, day 4, we'll look at more bossing possibly, and also at more advanced gear options that you can take in order to upgrade your game. So with that said, let me pull the video. We can kind of talk about what we were doing on day 1. Day 1, I think, to finish out, took us about like 8 hours. As far as I understand, it's a pretty fast pace, so you don't have to kind of like match the pace. You just need to do whatever works for you in terms of tempo. All right, so we start, of course, like everybody, go ahead and finish up the Den of Evil, and the main skill we're using, this will be our first main skill, is Poison Strike. If you've never tried playing with Poison Strike, this is an example of me playing on players 8 difficulty. This is not players 1. Basically the idea is, as fast as you can, you'll buy a dagger, even if it has no Poison Strike to it, and you're just putting all of your levels into Poison Strike. Everything else is not interesting, it's not important. You can put a point into Bone Shield if you want. It's even a synergy to Poison Strike, but every single point goes into Poison Strike. At level 6, you can put a point into a Mud Golem, or a Clay Golem, sorry. And he will be a little bit of, like a small tank to distract other stuff, but you really don't need him. So you can see kind of like cleaving through with Poison Strike. I don't have much resistances or anything. We did manage to drop a +3 to Poison Strike dagger. They are pretty common early on. And yeah, you can see we're pretty much non-stop, just going from quest point to other quest point, picking up the cube, going to pick up the staff. The Cold Worm is not fond of our Poison Strike, so we just let him be, and going to the Claw Viper Temple. And you'll be in around like level 20 probably if you just keep going like this. If you're playing with a group, you might be even higher or might be lower depending on whatever you're doing, but we're putting every single point into Poison Strike. And eventually, like when you can, you will want like a point in Blood Warp, so that 1 point in Golem is going to work towards that as well. Considering you get like a point from Radamant, a point from Den of Evil, at level 24, like you want 1 point into Clay Golem, 1 point into, you can put Golem Master if you want, 1 point into Blood Golem, then 1 point into Blood Warp, that's 3 points, or 4 if you have Golem Mastery. You want Poison Strike, 20 points, that's 20 points. You can put a point in, what's it called? Bone Armor as well, which is 2 points, considering Teeth is a pre-requirement or prerequisite. Yeah, that's how we kind of gathered all of the materials. After that, and losing our way in the Arcane Sanctuary for a couple of rounds, we go ahead and kill the Summoner as well. And as you can see, again, I'm playing for the most part on players 8, just to demonstrate how strong this skill is. You pretty much just want to go ahead, punch a few attacks at whatever target you're going for, and then you go back. Over here at Duriel, this is where the Clay Golem is kind of useful, just to distract like other things from attacking you. It saves like a little bit of time. You'll see that our gear is like nothing special. We dropped an Infernal Cap that gives a little bit of resistances. And over here at level 24, whenever you get to level 24, if you're in Act 3, that's the time where you want to buy a Teleport Staff. That's true to everybody who's not a Sorceress generally. You look for a staff that has teleport charges, So you go ahead and have a look, and we found ours. Not the best one, but still a solid one. So yeah, we do with what we get. It's good to save like 200, 300 K gold for these. They save so much time. You'll see that like the moment we get them, they speed up your going through stuff. And in Act 3, I hate going around Act 3, especially the sewers. So yeah, I'm a big fan of getting this teleport staff as fast as I can. So it's a very important part of your gameplay. Of course, you'll be using it throughout Hell as well and Nightmare. But yeah, we keep punching our way, just poison striking as we level up. And of course, we want to make sure we grab like some points in Amp and lower it, like a point in like the curses, so we can get lower res. Lower res will kind of help you get through some things. You can, if you don't like getting lower res, you can just start maxing your golem mastery so you can have more golems. But it's not really necessary, in my opinion. And after that, I just started maxing out my bone armor just so I am like a little bit more reliable. Yeah, we go ahead and you can see that like every like poison strike we do just destroys like the ancients. I do summon the clay golem to make sure we don't get like hit by anything. But yeah, here we go, grabbing our point in lower resist. And the one thing in normal that felt like, oh, this is like the first time I'm feeling any resistance was Lister and his friends. I don't know if it's because they immediately demolished like our clay golem and mercenary. Mercenary, by the way, I was using a vigor merc, mostly just for movement. She wasn't doing like too much damage, or she wasn't being like too helpful outside of like giving us vigor. But even giving us vigor is kind of nice, you know, it lets us move a little bit faster. This is another use of the teleport stick, helping us skip the wave there. You don't have to skip it, you can kill them. It just felt like a little bit of a hassle there. So we go ahead and kill Baal, and we straight ahead go to Nightmare. I didn't farm normal Baal waves. It felt like it's unnecessary just because our damage was so high. And you can see that even going to Nightmare, we are still killing everything fairly easily. So I just straight up teleported to Andariel. I only stop on the way. Like if I see a big pack, I'll stop and kill it. Otherwise, I just keep teleporting. I don't bother too much. I didn't clear tower. I didn't save Kane. If you like saving Kane, you can go ahead and do it. There's good experience there too. But yeah, we kept leveling the same synergies for Poison Strike. At the moment, like our bone armor is incredibly strong, which helps us stay very safe. In terms of attributes, like I have like a few points into strength just to wear my gear. We have an Ancient's Pledge that we're wearing, the +3 Poison Strike dagger. We found the Peasant Crown, so we wore it. I think we dropped it from Diablo, if I remember correctly, in normal. And over here we kill Mephisto in Nightmare. And this point is kind of important. You can kind of see it's starting to get a little bit difficult to get in close for that poison dagger. Act 3 Nightmare is around where it's starting getting difficult to get in and do the little daggers. So I was already kind of considering maybe it's time to switch. And over here you can see us in the Chaos Sanctuary in Nightmare, and this is the moment where I realize we've had enough and Poison Strike will no longer be our main skill. You can transition a little bit later if you want. Like I was level 49, like you can go for like level 50 plus if you want, like around the mid 50s is also fine. I personally decided to go at it here. If you prefer to do it otherwise, that's also okay. As you can see, our gear is pretty basic. We have a smoke rune word. I didn't farm the tower for runes. I just happened to drop one. We have our peasant crown, like half freeze duration gloves and half freeze duration ring. So nothing too crazy. Blue boots for faster run walks. Everything we have is like for moving faster. And in our respec, after we move from Poison Strike, we are using golems, and this is a build that was recommended to me by Kareen. Shoutouts to them. They're great bossers and speedrunners, so it was nice for me to get some tips from someone who's so experienced. Shoutouts to them if you want to check out their content. It's really nice. I used it as a reference for learning what to do over here as well. And yeah, you can see we swap out this ring. We saved like a +2 clay golem and golem mastery wand that we found on the way. Nothing too crazy. We didn't have to stop and shop for it or anything like that. We just kind of went through it as we went, and you can see that the golems, they kind of take care of Diablo. Now the main idea of this build is that like you'll be having both clay golems and revives, so you have 1 point in amp and 1 point in lower res, and also like I have a 1 point in bone armor. Bone armor is important. After clearing Diablo, I went to Shank and Eldritch, which is my favorite spot to level up in. As you can see, they give great experience, and they can take you to like the mid 50s in terms of leveling. I think they're really efficient for that. You kill them really fast. We also swapped to an Act 3 Merc, the Lightning Merc. We happen to drop like a Knout, a unique Knout that gives a little bit more lightning damage, so we ended up going with that. The Act 3 Merc generally is a little bit nicer to have. He will also enjoy your lower res curse. As you can see, we got some nice revives going for the ancients. We went to them at level 58, if I remember correctly. 58 or 57. Yeah, 57. And they weren't the trouble at all. Like, we could have done them earlier. I just wanted to have like the benefit of the ancients as late as I can in terms of efficiency. You can see we start to level our revives, and the main places you want to revive at is the Travancore waypoint. So you can just go to Travi, do Desecrate, then do a few summons. You could do that, or instead you could go kill the Travi Council and revive them. They're incredibly powerful, and they will carry you if you will, you know, curse with lower resist. They do so much fire damage, it's ridiculous. And if they die, you mostly just try to revive something, you know, something useful. Over here you can see us taking care of the Baal waves. We didn't have any trouble with them. I did decide to do them twice and then kill Baal, just to get our levels, you know, straight, so we can get like our level 60 before. We go to Hell, then we hopped into Hell, and finally we decided it's time to save Cain, even though normally I just ignore him. So we go ahead and do that. Poor dude, he's been waiting since normal. It took me like I think 6 or 7 hours to get to him, but eventually we did. I think it was more like 6. Actually, it might even have been less, like 5.5. Honestly, the ride with Necro is a little bit faster than Sorceress for the most part. They have different power spikes, so like normal for Necro is incredibly easy. Nightmare, it's like really nice till like the mid part, and then it gets slowed down by quite a bit. And once you get your revives to a good level, which is kind of like mid Hell, you start getting strong again, where like Sorceress was really strong during Nightmare with Firewall like starting to pop off there, and like late normal. But late Hell and like early normal, she wasn't as strong, or it didn't feel as strong, at least to me. So that was kind of like main differences we saw. Now, once you're late in Hell, like in Mephisto area, you can already stop to farm things like Andy. Andy's really easy to farm with this build, or you could farm Hell Mephisto or Nightmare Mephisto if you want to farm Nightmare Mephisto. There's a lot of good stuff you can drop there. Farming Nightmare Chaos as well. These are points where you could stop and farm. I'm just showing gameplay from my personal run. We were running for, you know, try to get to level 80 as fast as possible, which took us a total of 7 hours and 45 minutes or so. So that's why I'm just running over the game. You can definitely stop and level, take your time, or like if you're playing with a group, maybe you have like a specific setup. Maybe you guys want to stop and do cows for a little bit. Like everybody has their own like paths that they take. Again, you see me reach like Hell, Shank and Eldritch, and you know I love leveling at them. They're really efficient, especially online where like maps are reset and you don't really know where you need to go to find the specific boss. Farming like Eldritch and Shank is super fast and super efficient in terms of EXP per second, which you can kind of see at the like mark at the bottom. It shows like how much EXP we're making, how much EXP per second we were getting. It's really hard to contest Eldritch and Shank. So we go ahead and farm that. I don't know how long that clip is. Okay, yeah. And once we farm them a couple of times, I believe at level 58, I go to Hell Ancient. you can see that we're not really struggling with them. The fight is slower, but as long as you go to Travi to revive like some council members, yeah, I think you'll be fine. Like you can see I'm like doing lower res, I'm doing amp. Your clay golems and like revives will take care of them. And after that, we just went straight through Baal's waves. We didn't have any trouble with them. We went ahead and farmed Mr. Baal. And again, the fight is a little slow at this point, but honestly, it's really not that bad. If I had more council members over the other stuff, I believe it would have been easier. We also get lucky enough to drop Skin of Viper Magi, which will replace our smoke. Our smoke that didn't roll that well on resistances in the first place. So it was a nice drop. At least we got like some FCR and all skills. Sadly, only rolled 20 all res. And here you can see we were farming some chaos, both like something you'd farm for pests early on and for some items. And we got close to our level 80. So we go ahead and teleport, and this is still the same teleport stick that we've been using for the entire game. We bought it at normal, and it kept us company for the entire time. Here you can see we finally reached level number 80. It took us a total of 7 hours and 45 minutes, which is really not bad, in my opinion, for strict leveling. Of course, we're doing it with like Pluggy, so some parts of the game go a little bit faster than they would go online, because of course, like you can change the player count, so that is definitely a factor. So take that with consideration. This is not like a submission for a speedrun or anything. You can see the same spec. We've only spec'd once, remember, for the golems and revives. And I took this build straight from level 80. I took it to maps, to the map that we got, which was the crypt. And as you can see, we weren't really struggling here. Our Merc was struggling. He was struggling to stay alive for the most part. So the Merc wasn't the most helpful part at that point, but the revives really did good work. The snakes that they summon, like the lesser hydras, are so powerful. They take care of a lot of mobs really well, and we did, I think, 2 full levels, or maybe 1 full level in this map, so it was really nice. And we also managed to gather some gear. Of course, if you are trying to be self-sufficient and get your own Anilus early on, you'll have to eventually go into maps to farm that PDE. And over here you can see us do our first mini Ubers, and every time we basically opened 1 portal. The main reason was because I wanted to summon these council members, or to like use revives on them. And there are a few things that I could have probably optimized about my gear, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. But you can kind of see that we're not really struggling with Duriel. Like, it wasn't like an issue for us to kill him. It's just like an issue of time, basically. But it was faster than both Sork and Druid, surprisingly, on at least day 1. So definitely a viable Ubers runner. Necro summoner with these like revives and clay golems. Revives being the council members, and the clay golems just being like so beefy and doing such a good job with their crushing blow. So yeah, we were big fans of how well this went. We got another Duriel, so we kill him, and I think the third one we got, was Izuel. And generally, I would recommend farming a little bit more before you do Ubers, just so you can get more resistances. I didn't actually have very good charms. I didn't craft a lot of gear. You can craft like wands, or you can shop for wands that are a little better. I have like a +2 to Necro wand and +2 to Necro shield. My helm is like a Tarasha's helm, just to have a little bit more resistances. But even though we don't have very good gear, you can see Mephisto dies really fast. We don't really struggle with Mephisto. Mephisto was the easiest, actually, I would say, for this build. Baal was a little tricky. His cold waves are really scary. You can see I'm getting like really close to dying there. And he was cleaning up my my revives and my golems which was pretty hard to deal with. It was very grindy. It was probably the most dangerous part of this fight. He was the closest one to kind of like destroy us there and just leave us out of the fight. Diablo was probably the slowest one. I never really felt like he's gonna kill me. It's just that like the summons can make it a little bit difficult to target Diablo. But even Diablo, just like with enough time and enough mana potions, we made it through him. And at the end of the day, we also decided to use our second respec. Oh, sorry. This is before the respec. We went to shop for wands. So we were shopping for wands that have +2 summoning skills or +2 necro skills with also +2 golems. This is something you want to save some gold for. You'll see me during like the day always picking up like gold items, you know, 30k plus items and selling them. You wanted to like develop this kind of like 1 million plus like amount of gold. It's really important to have that much, because you do want to shop for that good wand. You want to shop for an amulet that gives maybe +3 to summons. So you want to shop all these things. You might even want to gamble circlets. That's something that I didn't do actually. I did shop for a wand and I shopped for an amulet, but I didn't get like a circlet. Gambling circlets could definitely help you get like 2 more extra levels or 1 more extra level depending on what kind of circlet you get. But yeah, now you can see our decline attempt, and we went into decline with pretty bad gear. We didn't find any max Saphiras like during our day. We didn't find water walks, infernos, no lava gouts, and granted, like maybe I should have kept farming for it. I also didn't find any good PDR gear, and that's where like crafting a PDR necro head could be really useful. You can actually craft like you know, the safety craft for shields would be really strong on a necro. You can get +2 to necro plus the PDR, and that's something I'll look into in the future. You can see we kind of cheesed through like phase 1. It was pretty easy to do. The skeletons take a lot of time to kill, but you can see as long as you kind of hide behind the pillar, you can do a lot of damage without being too bothered. And you just got to keep your golems up and your bone shield up. Now, once we got to the second skeleton phase, I ran into a bit of a problem. It was really hard to like keep my golems alive, and also to actually get the skeletons down. Like they were focusing different skeletons. They started targeting Diablo. Diablo was like cleaning them up very fast. It was really hard to get them to do any like sort of meaningful damage. So out of like the 3 classes so far, this was the most challenging one. I also foolishly forgot to upgrade my belt. It was very late. I was already like I was already up for like 18 hours, and I was very tired. So maybe I forgot because of that. But it is really important to get like, you know, the big belts, and you'll see the Diablo is just standing on the skeletons, which makes it really hard to attack them. All the golems are attacking Diablo and not attacking the skeleton. So I have to just kind of like run away and hope they move from each other. That was a little bit annoying. That happened in like a few points of the fight where like the golems were just targeting Diablo and he was invulnerable. As you can see, the phases with just Diablo are pretty easy. Sadly, we got like invisible fire here a bunch of times, so we couldn't fill our belt properly. And here, I'm not even sure why we died. It felt like the damage was suddenly becoming too much, and we just lost it. These things happen. That was our day 1 experience with the Necro. You can kind of see, yeah, there we are. You can kind of see our gear wasn't like too amazing. We actually found this really cool 5-2 corpse explosion head, and we put like two perfect. Sorry, this is our shared stash. This is like the I wasn't using anything from the shared stash. I was just using this. So we found this. It was really cool. I wanted to slam it, but I realized it's more like a corpse explosion head, so it doesn't even matter if I slam it well. So something we definitely could have done is use our emeralds and craft some safety shields. Safety shields take Neph runes, so make sure to save some for that. I believe I have a few Neph runes, so maybe I only have 1. So yeah, maybe it will be hard to craft a lot of those. I have like 2 attempts, so that's a bit of a shame, but I mean, we'll do our best. to still do that. You can always go to normal Countess and farm a few Nephrons. She can drop them for you if you need to match like your emeralds. But yeah, that's definitely a way that you can get that. On the way to day 2, I'll farm a few pests. I'll go to do a few runs at like Nightmare Mephisto to farm pests. So we can have another attempt. And on our second attempt, I'll upgrade like my shield. I'm pretty sure I'll keep like most of the gear pretty similar. I might try to get a new belt. We found like this like very high belt, like high life belt with 78 life, which is pretty good. 9 strength, 78 life, get some FHR. It's really cool. But not having any resistances or any PDR on it is pretty devastating. Of course, our boots will be water walks this time, unlike the first day where we just ran without it. Which was like pretty bad, and they will also probably use a pair of lava gouts. These are things that you can farm early on at like Nightmare Mephisto or Nightmare Chaos if you stay there to farm a little bit, or you can farm them in Hell as well, of course. Another thing you can do is farm Andy. This Necro is pretty strong at farming Andy, Hell Andy, and just get like a dwarf star. Even if it's a bad one, it really helps with the fight, making like the damage seem less bursty. It will also give you some flat life to work with. So we'll see. Maybe we do some of that too till we get a ring. Since we haven't dropped any unique rings actually on our day 1 Necro, which is pretty unique case, but it is what it is. Okay, with that said, hopefully this was a nice showing of the Necro on day 1. Sadly, we didn't make the declone kill, but we'll go into day 2 more resolute and also more informed about what we can upgrade, and we'll make sure to get those upgrades and then also kill declone. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to drop a like and subscribe and all the other free stuff that you can do. That really helps the channel, and I'll really appreciate it. Till the next stream or the next video that you watch, I'll see you then, and bye.